one of the things that Marla talked about is it's really easy to be attractive to the baby boomers and the X-Gen because the average age of our consultant right now in the field is 43. So that's kind of crazy when you think about that. Here's the problem with that, is by the year 2017, this Y generation, those people that small group that raised their hand, they will be outspending the boomers. And that's how many years from now? Only 4. So, that's the thing about what we need to do as a company. Where do we need to place some focus right now? On them. They're going to be outspending in just 4 short years. So that's one of the things that we want to really pay attention to. We need to understand all about this generation. The what, the why, the how they operate, what they like and what they don't like. And I'm not an expert, although you saw pictures last night. I do have 4 in that category of YGen. But I'm just going to give you a couple examples. Like, one example is P3. Yes, we love P3 right now, but it is old, and I'm really using the words that Marla shared. It's what's called a desktop spreadsheet application. Okay? Desktop spreadsheet application. That seems complicated to me. But according to Marla at the home office, they can't even find programmers who are going to work on this program anymore. That programmers who understand how all that works have retired. And that any new programmers that they hire, the up-and-coming ones, they don't even understand that. They don't know what a desktop spreadsheet application is. Because what are they working on? Web-based programs. So if we have a web-based program, which hopefully we're going to getting close to, I don't know when, we don't have any insight on that, but that message that we send out is, hello, we are a company who is Gen Y friendly. We know how you operate, we know what you like to do, we know a lot about you, we're progressive. So that's what our goal is within the next 4 years, to get to a place where we send that message out to everyone. What do you think P3 says? Right, kind of like that. I think Marla put it in. We are a company for baby boomers, run by baby boomers. So if we want to ensure the success and the growth of this company, it's just that simple. We need to be on board with the progressive steps that they're taking. I know another one is kind of a touchy subject is email requirements. And that's going to, I don't know what Pampered Chef is going to come up with in the end for that, but the Y-Gen is used to giving their email to everyone. Even many of us, if we place an order online and we don't get a confirmation that says your order went through, you freak out. You're like, oh my gosh, they didn't get my order. And that Y generation expects that kind of service. They expect to hear that their order went through and that they're going to be taken care of. I'm not going to say any more about that, but just a couple of ideas, just to make you think. When it comes to that, Pampered Chef has assured us that they don't want to change the relationship that they have with our customers. That needs to stay the same because we want to be customer focused. But they just want to make our job much easier and more efficient when it comes to getting in contact with people or taking care of, like our garlic slicer. That would have been so easy to take care of from the home office if they would have been able to reach people, and we wouldn't have had quite so much work. So now back to the Gen Y. Kind of a description. There are just a few more numbers. There are 79.8 million in the Gen Y right now, and that's 25% of our population. They are the most educated, most diverse, most tech proficient, and soon to be the largest generation ever. And guess what? They need to earn money. The student loan debt just hit $1 trillion, which is bigger than credit card debt. Absolutely. So they need to earn money. So now I have like a 7-question quiz for you. So grab your pencil. And I'm going to give a little description. Okay, the first question is, the Y generation spends this is true or false, everyone. The Y generation spends $200 billion annually. Jot down what you think. And the answer is, what do you think? True. And what's going to happen is the boomer generation spends, and I'm kind of classifying the boomers and X-Gen together. As that generation spends less, the Y generation will be spending more. And one of the things I didn't think of is the recession. it really hit hard to the boomer generation because we're the ones that had the investments and the 401ks and company stock, but the Y generation, they didn't have any money to start with. So it didn't hurt them as much except what they saw their parents go through. So they're not going to be afraid to spend money. And they're going to be starting their whole households and filling their kitchens. Okay, here's the next question, number 2. True or false? They prefer foods their mothers made rather than foreign cuisines and intense flavors. False. You guys are good. That is false. And the 2 top choices are sushi and Asian flair. Absolutely. Who said? I see some heads shaking. Yeah. What they like in their food preferences: powerful nutrition, flavorful food, comfort and indulgence, speed and convenience. But here's the funny thing: is they create meals in kitchens jammed with friends from recipes they've spent hours researching. They get online and I know our group, my kids. Every Sunday they have a potluck dinner with there's from 7 to 10 or 12 people there. And they do things like, next week's going to be, they'll pick a flavor, or they'll also say, it's going to be the most crazy, unusual grilled cheese sandwich. So they make up, and then they have a little scoring sheet, and they have crazy, crazy things. I mean, every week they have something different. So they spend research, they try to be the most creative, they have names for them, and they have a lot of fun all around counters in their kitchens. Okay, here's the next one, true or false. More than 80% sleep with their phones. That was easy, yes. 83% of them do. So this should be kind of a light bulb moment for all of us. What can you do at your shows that brings that phone with them? Obviously, that phone is pretty darn important, right? If you sleep with it, it's your alarm clock, it's your wake up, it's everything. So at our shows, instead of wondering about, oh my gosh, that person's texting, they're not paying any attention. Bring it into the show so that they're comfortable and they're using that. And I have some ideas for that in a little bit. Okay, next question. Looks to friends to validate their purchase. True, you guys. The biggest example is the like button on Facebook. How many of you said, did you see that? You had 120 likes on that. That is definitely validation for their friends. And that should be a little bit of the light bulb too, which means if their friends validate the Pampered Chef or the manual food processes or some product, that's probably more important than you carrying it in a bag going into someone's house. They need to be around a group of people and talk about it. The discussion is just as important as seeing it in some cases. All right, here's the next question. They want or like to do something special with their purchase. Kind of like they want to know it's special. It's not just a product for their kitchen. What do you think? Right, the best example is like Tom's shoes.
Yes.
It's big. You buy a pair of Tom's shoes, and you know that an underprivileged child gets a pair. So what does that mean for us? Do we do anything like that? Roundup. Feeding America should be huge. It should be something you talk about and help with cancer. One of the things you can do, you connect, when you talk about that, you connect them with something bigger than themselves. And that's what they really like. They can say, I got this tool from the Pampered Chef, and guess what else? They do this for Feeding America, and they do this for American Cancer Society. So it's important to bring that into your shows right now. And this one I kind of alluded to a little bit. Cares a great deal about good customer service. Absolutely. And they're used to it, and they expect it. And the example I think that Marla gave her, was it Marla doing the quiz? A couple people talked about this in the YGen, was like on Amazon. You've been there, you've ordered something, and as soon as you order something, or you put it in your box, your shopping cart, what does it say?
Other people purchase this.
Other people who purchased this also liked this. That's customer service. That's what we do at the full service checkout. We should be asking them about things that they like or calling them back. All right, so here's that. Did you do okay in your quiz? Any aha moments, you guys? Just to think about. This is giving you something to think about. So this Gen Y, what do they like when they're together? What are some characteristics? They're collaborative and they want to contribute. They want to talk and interact. They're tech savvy, which means phones, iPads, those things. One of the other things on the challenging side, they get bored a little easy. And they tune out with lengthy trainings and videos. One of my peers was talking about even our little video clips that we send. If they're more than 3 minutes, most of the time they won't open them. I'm like, really? Why? And the reason is because they're using it on their phone and it uses too much of the battery. So if you can make your message to people on your team 3 minutes or less, they're going to open it. But I know mine too. I'm like, I look at how long it is. If it's more than 3 minutes, I open it. I think, oh, I'll do it later on my computer, and then I never open it. So just a little message when you're doing trainings. They do like praise and instant gratification. I loved the idea on having them text on the way home from a show. Quick, easy, that was perfect. They feel a bit entitled, demanding a bit hand-holding. So some of you are shaking your heads. You probably have children in that age too. So what can we do? Make sure we give clear direction. Make sure we give an opportunity or forum for them to be heard. Constant feedback is really important. Keep it relevant. They're also very motivated by maintaining their personal lifestyle alongside of their work. So it's a really good idea to use the word parallel career. When you think about starting a Pampered Chef's business, it can be a parallel career to what you're doing right now, because that's important to them. Flexibility too, and I heard Tanya talk about this. They wanted to be able to do training if they're awake at 2 o'clock in the morning, and we need to provide that so they can do it whenever it's most convenient to them. They're flexible; they can learn anywhere at any time, but we just need to make that available.